The fans are so crazy with their idols, and that's how the artists nowadays make so much money. I guess very soon the Chinese entertainment industry will overtake US. It's always my dream in the past few years to create an idol in China.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Easy Talk, where we discuss light topics about life in China. For the movie business in China, there's never been a better year than 2016. In February, the Chinese box office brought in over $1 billion, beating the North American market for the first time ever. With its massive domestic consumption, China is gearing up for spotlight by producing more films and partnering with foreign studios. Today, we talk to one industry insider who will fill us in on what's going on behind the scenes and how this fast-growing industry just keeps on booming. In the heart of Beijing situates one of the most popular tourist attractions for people from all over the world, the Place. Edward Chen, father of film star Edward Chen, started the Place Media Company about 2 years ago and has since obtained a roster of up-and-coming artists in the entertainment industry across Asia. Chen invited me to his office for chat on China's movie business. Thank you, Edward, for taking the time to be on Easy Talk today.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, let's get right into it.
Sure.
I really want to know your opinion on the rising demand for films in China.
I guess it's a few factors. With the booming Chinese economy in the past 2 decades, most consumers have more disposable income. Then they spend their money going to cinemas to watch movies, dining out, maybe buying clothes. Now, the other thing is, right now, like the new term from the industry, the fan economics. They all have their own idols. So whenever the idols are in the movies, they'll go. And then I would say another very important factors in the drastic growth in the number of cinemas and screens, and especially in the second and third tier cities. More convenience, like for people to go watch movies. And that's why you can see, the movie industry is growing so fast during the past few years.
And some people even predict that by the year 2017, which is next year, that China will overtake North America as the world's biggest film market. So what do you say to that? Do you think it's a little bit exaggerated?
I guess eventually the Chinese movie industry will overtake the US, but would that be as soon as next year? I think it might take 2 or 3 years. I believe I was like last year, the movie industry revenue is around 40 billion renminbi or a bit over. And this year, I think it's growing at a rate of maybe forecasting about 20-30%. And the US box office, I think it's around 60 billion renminbi. So I think it may take about 2 or 3 years to catch up the US numbers. Right now, the Chinese industry is very small compared to our full GDP. $40 billion, it's like the sales of the bubble gums. So, like when you compare to the whole China economy, it's only a very small portion.
It means that we have more potential.
Exactly.
And is that why you chose to open companies here in Beijing? When did it occur to you that domestic star power was on the rise?
In the old days, when we talk at star powers, we think of like the kung fu movie stars. But right now, the economic growth and the government is supporting the whole cultural industry. So I think it gives a lot of good reasons for all of us to try to make a successful entertainment company.
And I know that your company also manages movie talents.
Yes.
So Generally speaking, do you think that Chinese movie stars embrace their roles well, like their celebrity status? Are they coping with these things well?
I think, most Chinese superstars, they cope, with their fame very well. I mean, they act as a very good role models, for their fans and also the public. And also they're very enthusiastic in doing, fulfilling their social responsibilities, such as charities or, public, welfare. And I think they create a good image for, their fans and for the public. I mean, it's very positive. I think, the healthy image, of course, is the most important. Their social responsibility, to the society, I think it's what we need from the idols.
And in order to attract more Chinese moviegoers, some Hollywood blockbusters, they invite Chinese superstars to appear in their movies, like Fan Bingbing in X-Men, but they only play very small minor roles. So what is your take on this phenomenon?
It's not true. I mean, you are just, giving us one example. But you look at recently, Daniel Wu in a movie, I think it's called World of Warfare. The box office, I think it's over $1 billion renminbi. Or maybe, the past few years, you have Gong Li, Zhang Ziyi, Jackie Chan, so on and so on. They play an important role in those blockbuster movies. Of course, the language is a barrier. But right now, with the drastic growth of this industry, the movie industries, you can see a lot of foreign companies are setting up offices in China. And also with the young people, most of them can speak or can understand English. So I guess in the future, you can see, more Chinese artists in very, playing a very important role in different movies that was going to be shown in China.
So more actors, actresses will go international this way.
Exactly, because right now most young people, they can speak English. I believe that Chris Wu just did a movie in New York. So I think it's the trend, and the most foreign movie companies, they want to use Chinese talents because the Chinese box office is growing so fast.
The market is so big.
Exactly.
The optimism for Chinese actors drives a big market for companies like Chen's to strive in. Seeing Asian stars become icons overnight is something very familiar to Chen. His son, Edward Chen, is a global icon and remains one of Asia's most popular figures. As we moved into Edward's meeting room, the conversation became more in-depth when we started hitting on the distinction of Chinese movie industry.
So about the movie identity, I mean, many countries have their own label in their showbiz, like America has Hollywood, India has Bollywood. So what about Chinese films? Is it too early to tell now?
I guess, from the old days, from Bruce Lee to Jackie Chan to, Donnie Yen now, I think the Chinese film industry has always been linked with Kung Fu. But now, during the past few years, things have changed. If you have to ask for an identity, it should be the fan economics. The fans are so crazy with their idols, and it creates, a lot of growth. To the whole entertainment industry, and that's how the, artists nowadays make so much money. If you ask me really for an identity, I would say it's the fan economics in China.
But we cannot present this to the international society. I mean,
no other countries have crazy fans like what we have in China. So other than that, I guess we don't have an identity yet.
So it will be a fan-related.
Yes, the fan economics really drive the growth of the whole entertainment industry.
Right now.
Yes.
With the emergence of the internet economy.
Yes, you see that it's because of the fan economics, so many foreign companies are setting up offices in China, which, they will use the popular artists to shoot their movies because they want the box office. Easily, a movie can have over $1 billion, $2 billion in box office, and that's what every investors want.
But actually, Chinese films do not do so well in the international market, like in international festivals. But some movies from Japan or South Korea, they're doing so well. So what can we learn from them?
Of course, we have a lot to improve. We have to catch up with the technology, the innovation, the creativeness. So that's how we can learn, from, a country like US in order, to better develop, the industry.
So with your company here in Beijing, so what exactly are your goals and ambitions here?
You see, the thing is, it's always my dream in the past few years to create an idol in China. Like you can, like in the past, all idols are either from Taiwan, Korea. Of course, right now we have a few idols from China, but those idols, take quite a few years in order to become popular. Like in the old days, like in Hong Kong or in Taiwan, we can create ours like an idol overnight, or in a very short period of time. China being so big, with so many people, the population, I think we should be able to create our own idol. We are also doing productions. Of course, I want to have a good quality productions that, everybody can remember, that it's my company who is doing the whole production, the movie, the scripts. Of course, winning awards will be good, but really it's the production quality, what the consumers are looking for. That's my goal and my ambition.